Good morning. I'm going to talk today about gold leaf on cold wax. This is a paper, Arches oil paper, that I like to do some cold wax on, especially little studies. I don't work into this as rigorously as I work into my panels, but it is a great way to loosen up. And the other day I decided, let's try a little gold leaf. One of my students wanted to put some gold leaf on her piece. And I have to be honest with you, I had not tried gold leaf on cold wax before. So when we put gold leaf on acrylic, it says that the surface has to be clean of oils. It should be sealed. There's a lot of recommendations. This is a silver leaf that I have. And just for example, porous surfaces such as unfinished wood, plastic, and the like must be sealed. I guess that wouldn't apply to cold wax. Directions for metal leafing: apply adhesive after the sealer coat, if required, has dried. Apply a thin but uniform coat of metal leaf adhesive called gold size to the area wished to leaf. And then they want you to let that dry, I think it is for an hour. So this is the water-based gilding adhesive. Now, this is what I use when I'm working on acrylic or mixed media. And I do put it on, let it dry, it tacks up, it takes about an hour. Then I will put the gold leaf on it and the gold leaf will adhere. I didn't do that with the cold wax. I simply put a layer of the cold wax, put the gold leaf over it, and it does not seem to be flaking or creating any problems for me. This was several weeks ago. I'm very, very happy with the result. So that's what we're going to do today. I did a little painting over the top of the gold leaf, and that's fine. As far as varnishing, we have a water-based metal leaf varnish, and I think you could put this over the gold leaf if you want. The problem I have with the metal leaf varnish is it dulls the gold out. So at this point, now I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to leave it the way it is and take my chances and see what happens. So I am not an expert by any means in gold leafing. If any of you are experts in gold leafing, please write in the comments what you would do, what you agree or disagree with, okay? Disclaimer, I am not an expert. One thing that I'll tell you about gold leafing that I have discovered, and I buy 24 karat gold leaf. I like the real deal. I have found with the fake gold leaf, with acrylic, when I put acrylic medium over it, it would turn green. That wasn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it was interesting. But lately I'm using the pure gold leaf, and this is called transfer gold leaf. And what that means, if you want to make your life way easier, is this gold leaf is attached to the backing paper. It's attached. That way, gold leaf is so thin. When you have just the loose leaves of gold, trying to get that leaf perfectly aligned with where you want to put it is very hard. I have a friend who used a gold leaf, and he told me he would take his brush and rub it in his hair, his paintbrush, get some static electricity in it, pick up the gold leaf with his brush and drop it down. I discovered the transfer gold leaves, and that eliminates the necessity to do that. So let's try it like this. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is just take a little bit of my cold wax out of the can and put it on the palette. What kind of a palette do you use? I like plexiglass. This is actually glass. And I'm just going to soften it a little or mix it a little on the palette. And then I'm going to load up my Mezemeister scraper. You know, it's funny. I tell people to get the Mezemeister scraper, and a lot of people bring in other types of scrapers. The reason I like this is it really has a razor thin edge, and you can get a very thin and precise line of the cold wax. Now, all I did when I did this the first time was I figured out the area that I wanted the gold leaf, and I just put a thin layer of wax down, just like that. Then I took my gold leaf, and this one, as you can see, is attached to the paper, making it very easy. I just laid it down and pulled it up. Now, the area that is left here, you can see, is where I did not have enough cold wax down on the paper. And that's fine. I could patch that in with another piece if I want, but that's all there is to it. That's how I do it. And I just, I let it dry. Now, if I touch it now, you can see I pulled a little piece off. Don't touch it now. Let it dry. Let's do another one, just for fun. Load up my scraper with wax. Got a little too much there, and I want to be a little bit more precise. So I'm going to start over. See, I have a nice thin layer, and I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put a little bit more on this time to see if we can prevent, having the corner tear up. This is a fairly smooth cold wax surface. It's not highly textured. We might want to try this with something more textured to see how it works. Okay. Grab my gold leaf and lay it down. I just touch it lightly on the back, this paper backing, and then lift it up. Again, I have a little bit of that residue on the paper where it didn't quite stick. Now, I'm not worried so much about precision in this process. This is an experiment. So I think that's going to be just fine. I see a little bubble here. Let's try taking a paintbrush and see if we can get that down. Okay, this is a soft brush. It worked fairly well. I'm not real happy with the way the brush worked. It actually pulled some of the gold leaf off. What I would do, I think, in the future is just leave it. And it's either going to adhere, or when it dries, I could probably brush it off. Now, if we wanted to patch the areas that are not perfect, let's give that a try. What I'm going to do, again, is I'm going to take the area I want to patch, and I'm going to put my layer of wax down. I've never done this before, so I'm going to just take that little area and wax it. Okay, let's get the gold leaf. I'm almost out. I can see. This might work. This is a piece that was used, and that was left over. Let's try to patch this in. See what we get. No promises. It worked okay. I can see a little piece seems a little loose up here. I'm going to let that dry and see if after it's dry I can just brush it off with my brush. But that is a pretty good experiment. So I have 1, 2, and 3. When I did this one a couple of weeks ago, the wax itself was wet. I had been working that day into this paper piece, and I did just float a layer of cold wax over the top, and it worked beautifully. These are dry, so that's a little bit different. Okay, let's try a little piece of silver leaf. And this is going to be more difficult because this silver leaf is a loose leaf. Remember, I had talked about how the gold is attached to that little piece of paper, and I really prefer that. So, let's see what we might get with this. Floating my gold wax, my cold wax over the top, and the loose silver leaf, very delicate. Oops. You can see working with the loose metal is quite a bit more difficult. I have wrinkles in it. This part did not have wax down here, so I'll just try to kind of brush the silver away. I don't know if you've ever watched YouTube videos about people silver leafing or gold leafing. The experts, oh, it's a thing of beauty. And remember, I am no expert. However, the results can be really cool. Really cool. So that's my silver leaf. That's my result. I like it. I think I can do something with that. Now, what I'll probably do is work a little bit more into the painting and see what I might get. My message to you is don't be afraid to experiment. I have often said read the instructions, especially when it comes to varnishing and using products I'm not familiar with. Read the instructions, see what the manufacturer recommends. With the gold and silver leaf, I broke all the rules because I'm doing it with cold wax instead of on a non-oily surface like acrylic. Anyway, it's not perfect. If I were to try to line it up perfectly, I couldn't do it. It would take maybe years of practice, but it is what it is, and I think it's quite beautiful, and this gives me something to work with. So don't be afraid to experiment. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. These were all just little practice cold wax papers, nothing precious at all, but it's given me something to try to work into. So I hope you're all having a good studio day. It's all about practice. Art is a practice, and it doesn't mean I have to know what I'm going to do every step of the way or to know the outcome every step of the way. It's exciting not to know and to just have your little victories and your little defeats and then move forward with whatever you get. I'm sure it's going to give you enough of something to work with. And your mistakes may be way more interesting than your victories. I don't know. Please comment. Let me know your experiences with working with gold leaf on cold wax. I only know I've seen some beautiful results. Not quite sure how they achieve them, but it's worth a try, right? So go to your studio, practice art. Practice makes perfect. See you next time.